Everyone, I'm Dr. Amaka and welcome to our first episode of Inside the Woman's Body. This is season 1 and it's titled Hormones and Cycles. This season is dedicated to understanding how female hormones shape the female body. Starting from the very beginning, how they guide our development, influence our physiology, and regulate our cycles throughout life. I'm starting this series because I realize that a lot of women do not really understand their bodies, like what exactly is happening inside us. And I felt, why not? Yeah, we ladies need to know our bodies. Inside the woman's body is here to make you understand exactly what is going on in your body as a woman. We are starting from the very beginning, from development inside the mother's womb and following the process all the way through how a little girl transforms to an adolescent during puberty, menstrual cycle, menopause. We have a lot in store. So like, share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We are going to break down everything in details, what to expect, the physical and emotional changes. So it's going to be a long, enlightening ride. Now let's dive into the topic of today. What makes us female? What makes us female? To begin with, we must go all the way to the start. What makes a human body female? It all starts from fertilization. When a sperm meets an egg, the egg will contribute an X chromosome, while the sperm will contribute either an X or a Y chromosome. And I know somebody is watching this now and it's probably like, chromosome, what's that? Don't worry, I hear you. Now let's talk about chromosomes. Chromosomes are basically your DNA packed together. They contain genetic information that you inherit from your parents. So things like your eye color, your height, your hair texture, even certain informations about how your body functions. All of that is stored in your chromosomes. Humans have 46 chromosomes in total and they are arranged in pairs. So each pair is made up of one chromosome from your mom and the other from your dad. Each parent will donate 23 chromosomes carried in your mom's egg and in your father's sperm. Now, out of these 20 chromosomes, there is a special pair called the sex chromosome. These are chromosomes that determine whether you are genetically male or female. Now, like I said, the human egg has only one type of sex chromosome, and that is the X, while the human sperm can be either the X or the Y chromosome. If a sperm is carrying the Y chromosome and meets with human egg, that pair will become XY and that baby will be genetically male. If a sperm that is carrying the X chromosome meets with the human egg, that pair will become XX and that baby will be genetically female. Men, I'm so happy to say this one. Men are the determinants of gender. Yes. So when next your in-laws disturb you, Nigerian women, and say, oh, you did not give birth to a boy, you should ask them something. Tell them to ask your husband. Men are the determinants of gender because their sperm carries X or the Y chromosome. That is pure science. Facts. And that single pair sets the foundation for everything we are going to talk about in this episode, and the rest, everything about us, that single pair sets the foundation for that. In the early weeks of pregnancy, all babies, I would like to say babies so that everyone can follow. I don't really want to use medical terms, but at that stage, the baby is called an embryo. So, in the early weeks of pregnancy, all embryos, that is, all babies, initially share basic structures. At this point, gender is neutral. An XX baby, that is the absence of the Y chromosome, means that this baby is genetically female. In the absence of a Y chromosome, no testes would be formed. And since no testes will be formed, male hormone, that is testosterone, would not be released. In the absence of the male hormone, the baby would follow the female development pathway, which is the development of the vagina, the development of the labia, development of the uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries. The clitoris remains small, does not grow or enlarge to form a penis. I know someone is asking, oh, what about estrogen? Yes, estrogen is present and is released by the placenta and the mom, but at this stage, it just stabilizes growth, tissue growth, and progesterone, same thing, just stabilizes the growth of the baby. But later on in life, estrogen would be responsible for the development of what is called secondary sexual characteristics. That's the development of the breast in a female, and this is called puberty. We're going to talk about that in subsequent episodes. There is medical condition that the baby is actually genetically male, that is XY, has the Y chromosome, but the baby is not sensitive for some reason. The baby's body isn't sensitive to male hormones from the womb, and the baby follows the female development pathway because even though the testis in the womb is releasing testosterone, the baby's body is not responding to it. So the baby just follows the female development pathway. This is actually a medical condition, but they are actually genetically male, but look like women. The ovaries form, and by birth, they already contain all the eggs that will last the female baby throughout her lifetime as she grows, as she develops. So we don't ever make new eggs. You are born with the total amount of eggs that will last throughout your lifetime, and that's about 1 to 2 million. But these eggs remain dormant until puberty, when the reproductive cycle becomes active. The take home from this is number one: you are female right from the beginning because you carry the XX chromosome. You are genetically female. That can never change. That can never be erased. Hmm? That is biology. That is science. I don't want to go into hormonal therapy. Yes, I'm aware we have trans women, and um, I'm aware of all of that. But the foundation of being a woman is you having the XX chromosome. You are female because you carry the XX chromosome. That can never change. That can never be erased. That is biology. Everybody is either male or female genetically. That can never change. Nothing can change that. I didn't make the rules. God did. Two, apart from you being genetically female, you develop into a human female in your mother's womb because of the absence of the male hormone called testosterone. Three, at birth, every female human baby at birth is born with the total amount of eggs that she will have throughout her lifetime. We do not make new eggs. And as she grows, the eggs get depleted. But that's something we're going to talk about in our next episode. So watch out for our next episode of Inside the Woman's Body. I will discuss the human female egg in details. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and hit the subscribe button.